We have over 80 people here today already, and it's just not even 10 o'clock. And I'd expected we might have 20 people willing to risk arrest, and I mean, this is amazing. It just shows you how strong people feel about this, about the violation of landowners' rights, about the threat to our water and climate and to our land. And and again, as it was pointed out by one of the trainers this morning, this is not intended as just a one-time feel-good action. We're in this to try to stop the pipeline. Everything else has failed. Our elected officials have failed us. The courts have mostly failed us. And it's up to us now at this point to do what great Americans have done throughout history, whether it's fighting for the women's right to vote, civil rights, or stronger labor laws, to stand together to directly, physically fight against an injustice. And so that's what's happening here, and it's really encouraging to see so many people willing to be a part of that. The pipeline company is Dakota Access, who has recently been, a big chunk of them was purchased by a Canadian company with interest in the tar sands region, which is again very, very dirty oil. And also you've got the parent company, Energy Transfer Partners, owned by one of the wealthiest men in America, who is not afraid to throw his power and his money around. Our native allies in North Dakota have done an amazing job at bringing construction of the pipeline to a halt on their territorial lands along the Missouri River, and we take great inspiration from what they've been able to accomplish and look at them as allies and full partners in this effort. We may be separated by a 10-hour drive, but we're in the same fight and working together as closely as we can. I think what we're seeing is the fossil fuel industry knows it is a fossil itself, that it is on this age is coming to an end, and they're fighting as hard as they can to get as much infrastructure established so they can continue to pollute our environment for as long as possible. And so that's why so many fights are happening right now, and many of them are winning. And we see this as still a possibility. I mean, we know we're up against the wall in this, but we're going to keep fighting until we do everything we can to stop this, again, through peaceful and nonviolent means.
First and foremost, I think I'm just totally amazed by the turnout we have inside today here for this nonviolent civil disobedience training. It really shows that more and more Iowans and folks across the Midwest, we even have a person here from Ontario, from New York, folks across the country are ready to stand up and say no more fossil fuels, no more pipelines. The folks that I know that are here are just everyday folks from all across Iowa, and a few folks from outside Iowa. They're grandpas, they're grandmas, they're farmers, they're office workers, they're students. We've got just such an amazing mix of people inside who came together today to take action. Today that means taking civil disobedient action. We know that this pipeline is an injustice to Iowans, to North Dakotans, to our Native American brothers and sisters, and we plan on saying no more today. From day one, when we heard about this pipeline 2 years ago, that it would come to this, that at some point civil disobedience would be necessary. I think what's most inspiring and why we've got such a great turnout today is the actions, the organized resistance in North Dakota and Minnesota, where our Native American brothers and sisters have stood up, have formed spirit camps and taken civil disobedience actions, organized daily rallies, prayer circles, a whole host of actions and activities to continue building the movement that's going to stand against this pipeline and against all pipelines.
We're working on the most important aspect of being a citizen in this country and being a person who believes in democracy, because our democracy was formed by rebellion and protest. And every social evolution we have made as a country was done by rebellion and protest. The pipeline is the crime, and our police are sadly on the wrong side right now.
I'm here because I've attended hearings and written letters and gone to rallies. I'm here because I feel like our representatives have not represented us, that the court has ruled in favor of this pipeline above the land rights of Iowan citizens, above the safety of our water. I feel like this pipeline has been passed without proper environmental assessment. I want to show Standing Rock Sioux Tribe that we are standing in solidarity with them. I didn't have a good reason to not be here. I've never been arrested. I don't have a parking ticket. I've never had a parking ticket. I owe the library like $2. but I'm willing to take a rest because I feel like this shouldn't be happening. They're abusing the right of eminent domain. This is not a public utility, so we need to do everything we can to stop it.
I live in Des Moines, but I actually grew up in Boone, in a little town called Logansport, right on the river. Beautiful, beautiful place. So this has kind of hit home with me. I'm concerned about our water quality, and I've done everything I can possibly think of up until this point, and I'm here because I'm needed here, and this is the next step for me.
Eminent domain to be used for this purpose for a corporation to dig up 145 miles all the way across Iowa, feet below the ground, 100-foot wide path that is very destructive and that is just wrong. So history tells us that there are going to be spills with this pipeline, and it could be serious. The damage could be in the millions of dollars if you could even plate it up ever. And it's just wrong to use eminent domain in this way.
I'm Ethel from Lamar's, Iowa. I'm willing to risk arrest because I believe water is life, and our grandchildren's grandchildren will also need to drink potable water.
Well, I'm here because I love my grandkids, and we've really got to start thinking about the future because we're only going to be here maybe another 30 years, or at least me maybe. But this little guy's just starting up, and he's going to be around for a long time, and this is really important. So that's why I'm here. We've got this great planet, and we've got this wonderful way to be renewable, and it's all at the palm of our hands right now. It's all here. All we have to do is use it, and we can do it. We just have to start doing it.
This pipeline's a terrible idea for Iowa. It's a terrible idea for the country. It's a terrible idea for the globe. This is ground zero for the fight against climate change, and that's why I'm risking arrest today. There's oil seepage into waterways, rivers, aquifers, and onto farmer soil. There's also been legal or bad use of eminent domain to acquire private lands for private gain at the public expense.
Why are you here today?
Because this correlates with privatizing public education and taking green space. This is about greed, plain and simple. Private people, again, are stealing the land.
Peacekeepers that are on the edges, if you see traffic, we want to let that traffic through. Okay, so there might be somebody that comes down this alleyway.
In solidarity with our Native allies across the length of this pipeline, and particularly this time with our allies in North Dakota who have been standing strong at the Spirit Camp for months now, I want to welcome Robert Knuth to the stage, and he will share with us a brief blessing.
I'd like to talk to our relatives, all you standing here and outside here. I want to ask a prayer today for all your safety. O Dukashila Wakantaka, Uchosani Awoki, Unchimaka, Mother Earth, we're here for you today. We're here for good health, help, and happiness today. I ask that you bless the police that are watching us. I ask that you bless the protesters. I ask that you bless this Mother Earth. And I ask that you help all of us understand what it is, that why we're here.
Judy and I own the farm about 3 miles down the road here, or as we speak, they are tearing through, separating the topsoil, the precious topsoil. Landowners don't agree on much, and farmers, but these 3 things we can agree on. 1, we didn't ask for this, we didn't want it, it was thrust upon us. 2, it's been terribly stressful for all of us. 3, we feel betrayed by our state government, all branches of it, that didn't just stop it, they enabled it. And finally, I think we all agree, although we have many woes here, it isn't about the landowners. The bigger picture is for our children, our grandchildren, and future generations. That's more important than what happens to the landowners, and that's why all of you are here, and we appreciate that.
We are here to defend and protect.
We are here to defend and protect.
Not to protest and do damage.
Not to protest and do damage.
We are here out of love for our earth.
We are here out of love for our earth.
future generations.
And future generations.
We are not here to hate.
We are not here to hate.
We are here because of the illegitimate, anti-democratic process.
We are here because of the illegitimate, anti-democratic process
that has created this grave threat to Iowa.
That has created this grave threat to Iowa.
And our rivers and our soil.
And our rivers and our soil.
We are here in solidarity with our Native brothers and sisters.
We are here in solidarity with our Native brothers and sisters.
Stop the black snake that threatens their water and ours.
Stop the black snake that threatens their water and ours.
Thank you all for joining us for this peaceful display of nonviolent resistance to the Dakota Access Pipeline. Thank you. This is a message that will resonate and inspire more to take action with us.
Pipeline! Pipeline!
No, my first time.
Shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down!
The battlefield. Get out, guys. Get out. You want to go with Rachel?
Democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Texas oil men on our soil! No Texas oil men on our soil!
I think everybody wants this to be really peaceful, and I imagine a lot of law enforcement is on our side on this issue, so we're not against each other here.
Hi. Hello. Hey, how's it going?
George Fox.
Oh, Fox.
Life is good. We have to protect the fresh water, make sure the baby is all right. Future generations, this is important for the future generations.
We're talking, no pocket! We're talking, no pocket! We're talking, no pocket! We're talking, no pocket!
We're talking, no bucket. We're talking, no bucket. We're talking, no bucket. We're talking, no bucket. We're talking, no bucket.
We're protesters, not protesters!
We're protectors, not protesters!
We're protesters, not protesters! We're protectors, not protesters!
You tell me what you're doing, why you're here, why you're risking this.
Well, I was thinking about Jesus and getting the money changers out of the temple, and I think that's kind of what we're doing here. They came back the next day, but we still remember that it was important that he did that, and we're building solidarity with, particularly with Native Americans and with everybody in Iowa who's opposed to this pipeline.
Well, I'm originally from western North Dakota, so I go and spend my summers living and writing in the Bakken oil boom, and coal supported my entire upbringing, but now we know that fossil fuels are bad for us. And I've got 4 little nephews living in North Dakota that this pipeline seeks to go through and harm them, so that's why I'm here. Yeah, thank you.
We need 10 support people to balance out the other gates. 10 support people. We need some support people to balance.
So, and the other thing is, you know, they brought some cop cars up here. So they've got more people here than they've got any place else.
Good, got it. That's why Ed wanted us to.
This is private property. You guys are trespassing. You got to be able to let our trucks come in and out. All right, if you guys don't, then the officers will have to arrest you.
Well, our intent is to stop construction of the pipeline since our courts have let us down and our governor has let us down and the legislature and the Army Corps of Engineers, everyone has let us down, so we really don't have an option at this point but to physically stop construction ourselves with our bodies.
I've said all I need to say. This is private property. You'll have to move so our vehicles are allowed to come in and out of here, or the law enforcement will have to get involved.
I understand.
we got a job we got to do too.
So it's my understanding that these folks don't want to move, is that correct?
Their goal is to stop the construction of the pipeline, and that means that today stopping traffic from moving in and out of these sites.
Okay, and they understand that they're trespassing, and if they don't move, they will be arrested by the officers, is that correct?
They understand that being arrested is a possibility, yes.
Please clear the driveway.
Move out or you'll be arrested. Move out.
Move out or be arrested, that's the line.
Break apart this first, otherwise we're going to move forward with the rest. Everybody comfortable with part of that? Okay. Can't afford a higher night?
It's okay.
All right, questions about that?
No, that would be great.
If you can step that just back, I'll give you all the video or whatever you want. Thank you, Jay. Up on you. Sit down or anything like that.
Feels better.
Okay. A little bit more flexible.
Thank you. Yeah, you're arresting the wrong people.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thanks, Rosie.
Ma'am, what's your name? Sure, I can dig my hands out of it. BRENNA. Cousin
He's got a job to do. He's got a life to live. You get paid to do this? How are you doing your job?
Just come back here, all right? You're under arrest right now, all right? Just come back here.
Thank you. They're fighting for everybody's water. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's stop.